a copy of my court testimony before Judge Nanovic as proof that I would unite this board, play nice when Dave plays nice, allege that several people in the audience were mindless puppets doing assignments for Dave Bradley, that as long as Dave makes allegations, I can too. My testimony contained mistakes and perjury is a felony. That's what I was told. I have read my testimony many times and have had other people read it. I have read the official minutes and listened to the recorded meetings. I have indeed found many mistakes, but not in my testimony. Those mistakes are in the accusations. First, I would unite the board. That I will address at the end. Number two, I would play nice when Dave plays nice. What I said, according to the minutes, is, and the tape, Mr. Bradley, we have asked several times for you to please work within the system. You refuse to do that. Unless you learn to play well with the rest of the board, you will be sanctioned, and that's what this is about. I did not say, when he plays nice, I will play nice. It was concerning his sanctioning. Number three, I was accused that I felt bad after soul searching and would become more of a uniter than a divider. On page 18 and 19 of the May 2018 minutes, I stated that I am going to continue to do what I testified in court I would do, and that is to keep the district going on the path it is, the way it is, until someone convinces me otherwise. That testimony appears on the bottom of page 2 of the court document. I have 3 copies of the court document here for anybody who'd like to look at it. Fourth allegation. I made an allegation at the June meeting that several people in the audience were mindless puppets. Page 64 of the June minutes lists my comment as, Mr. Bradley, it seems to me that you have a whole entourage of people that you direct to do different things. I made this comment because we have received emails from board members with certain information that is subsequently brought up during courtesy to the floor with the same information and the same evidence. I have asked that a copy of the tape of the CCTI meeting with Representative Heffley be made available to the board and was told I actually taped that for Dave. I never got a chance to continue after I made the comment because some people assumed I was talking about them, even though I mentioned no names. Number 5, Dave has made allegations, so I can too. I found no such statement in the minutes. The tone of these meetings was set before I was appointed. I stated on the last page of my testimony that I have antagonized people before and may again, and they may antagonize me. Both Judge Nanovic and I agreed that's part of life. I am a board member with beliefs and opinions, as are the others on the board. We all represent the people of this district and their opinions. I will not apologize for defending myself and others by fighting fire with fire. Finally, on uniting the board, I found nowhere in that testimony that I said that. And anyone is welcome to read it and figure that out. Now, on uniting the board, what does that mean? Does that mean we all agree and vote alike? Does it mean all new board members get their way? This board is split because the community is split on their opinions. If the public was ready to turn the board over to an inexperienced majority, they would have done so. The vote reflected the fact that the community is fine with new faces, but not ready to turn things over to them quite yet. That has been done before, and people are leery of doing it again. That is why I applied for this position. Time will determine the course to be taken, but in the meantime, I reiterate that I will vote to keep things moving forward until substantiated facts convince me otherwise. Looking over the minutes of the last 6 months, I noted that this board is more united than is apparent. That has nothing to do with me individually, but with the board trying to do a job. Most votes are 9-0 or 8-1, which shows we can get something done. We pay bills, approve conferences and contracts, and hire and pay salaries. We keep the district in business. I also noticed that we make concessions. We are going to look at several policies that need revision, and a compromise was reached on Franklin Field. We disagree on some matters and probably always will, but so do the people we represent. I have left a few copies of my testimony at the end of the table, as I stated, for anyone who wishes to read it. There is not one mistake or falsehood in the entire statement. If anyone has the audio that is inaudible to me, please do so, because I have not heard what I allegedly said on the recordings. Anyone can feel free to criticize my comments at any time. However, remember to check the facts first, because I will.
Thank you, Mrs. Spinelli.
No, that's awesome.
Move on to,
I guess one comment if I could.
Sure.
I'd like to thank the administration for their efforts. Last month, we had given the authority to hire to get the school year prepared, to get off on the right foot. I feel that that was done in accordance to our hiring practices to a T. So that effort is much appreciated, that we have a school year that we're running into instead of stumbling into. So thank you.
And I have to give credit to the teams. I mean, there's a lot of time and commitments that is made by the interview committees, and like I said, 20 interviews, it's about 3 or 4 days of information for 1 to 2 positions. But there's a lot of time, and also there's staff members who donate their time to sit on those committees, so I have to give them credit. So it's not just the administration, there's a lot of time put into that process by other staff members as well.
And we'd like to thank you for sharing the part after the interview with the board with your process. What was missing was the part before, when the applications come in, and that evaluation prior to giving someone an interview. If you could share that with the board, we'd appreciate it. Or at least I would. Thank you. Can I make a motion that it gets shared with the board? This information of what happens from application to interview?
There's a paper screen that takes place.
I know. So I'm making a motion that that gets shared.
There's a paper screen that takes place.
I'm making a motion that that gets shared with the board, the process from advertising the position, collecting applicants, and leading them to the interview process. Can I get a second on that motion? That we as a board
so
can have
right
that.
now it's documented from the interview process forward. All you're looking for is where it gets posted, how it gets posted, how the resumes come in, how the information comes in, what's the
And how it gets weeded
stack,
out.
the stack of this to this.
To offer the interview, correct.
So prior to
Correct.
prior to accepting an interview, prior to extending an interview.
Exactly right.
It's more of a comment. Could you describe the comment that we used?
We post the positions, depending on the position, usually determines the amount of time. We advertise the postings, we advertise them in PA REAP, which is a statewide website. We also advertise them on Penlink, which goes out statewide for professional or administrative positions. We do not post pair support positions, however, they are posted locally in the newspaper for a allotted amount of time, and then depending on the deadline, they come in and they are presented, and there's a paper screen that takes place, and again, that paper screen takes place in my office, and then also depending on the supervisor, if it's a high school position, of course, the high school administration will review it to review the applicants. Middle school, the middle school support position. For example, maybe someone in Ryan's office, of course, Ryan would then go through the paper screening as well, depending on the position, and then make sure they meet the requirements and the posting, and then it gets, they will receive a call for a potential interview, and sometimes they accept the interview, sometimes they deny the interview, and then we move forward from there.
So all of that process that you just discussed, we're a board, and we don't micromanage, but we are a board that sets policy. Everything you just mentioned, is that policy, or is that a guideline? It's a procedure inside of the
It's
policy?
an administrative procedure.
So we don't have a copy of this policy, which our board, so I'm answering the question first, and then you can answer. Take your time. So there is a procedure that you follow. Is this procedure written down?
No, it's not.
Okay. As a board, we should write down a human resource policy and/or procedure to ensure that the position is advertised, applicants are received, and that they are reviewed in a way to make sure and ensure that we do not have any EOE opportunities, EOE issues from those individuals prior process, which was well documented. Thank you. And I make a motion that that information be given to the board members. Basically, just have him break down what he said he's
We
doing.
didn't have a motion for the other part, so I don't think we need a motion for this, Mr. Brown.
So you can just authorize him to make sure we get it?
I can put something together.
Perfect. So, by consent, as Mr. Schwab would say, by consent.
Put the rest of it together.
We'll look forward to getting that before the next meeting. Thank you. By consent.
Probably just copy the notes from the meeting.
That works.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. Alrighty. Last section, adjournment. I need a motion and a second to adjourn the regular school board meeting.
There are just.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I didn't. Other than the one we were just with. Okay. So I need a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
Excuse me, I had a courtesy of one on the sheet
You did, you spoke.
at the end. I wrote at the end.
After director's.
Oh, so you didn't.
Oh, it should have been on, okay.
I'm sorry about
I
I didn't
that.
know how to write it.
That's okay, that's all right, yeah, when you read that.
Can you change that to make that we at the end you ask instead of filling out a paper meeting? Because sometimes things come up and you want to talk about them and you
Well,
don't.
that's why I put that there, because now I have to change it.
Okay.
Speak to, okay.
Can I just
It is public comment, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
sorry, I'm so slow.
One second, excuse me, 1 second before you start. So are you now saying that any individual that has a public comment can make that comment now without prior filling out a form at the beginning of the meeting? Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing by consent?
That's not our policy, actually.
So the policy is that these people have to put a
Yeah, no,
form in before the meetings
Yes.
to talk about whatever happened during the meeting.
Because we can get it.
There was a mistake made, apparently, Ms.
She does have at the end.
I fully understand that. I want to make sure that what you just said is by
I
consent.
misspoke.
You misspoke, so no one else is allowed to speak except for Ms. Bose. And you're going to prevent people from speaking because they didn't file a paper before the meeting. And if they have anything that happened during the meeting that they want to add comment to, they are being silenced. Is that correct?
They can come next month.
Okay, I make a motion that we allow anyone to speak at the end of the meeting, regardless of whether or not they filled out a paper
Change policy.
prior to the meeting.
Change